2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Purlwise podcast, knitting all day. Let's look at it together. Purlwise podcast, stitch by stitch, we can make whatever. Stitch by stitch, it's made by your friend Claire.
Hello, I'm Claire. This is Purlwise, the place where I talk about the things that I've been making on YouTube for you. And this is my Everything I Knit in 2024 video. A little belatedly. Anyways, it's not interesting to talk about, but there are a few reasons that we're in the corner of my room. I've really been trying hard to film this video all month, but there is construction on the street in front of my apartment, and yeah, so we're in the corner of my bedroom. Welcome. I think this is an okay angle. We'll see how it goes. So yeah, I wanted to show you everything I made this past year. I'm worried it's echoey in here. It's so weird. But I think it's okay. I haven't done this in so long. Okay. So yeah, I wanted to show you everything I knit last year. Partly because it's just fun for me to make a big pile. And to see all the things that I made. And I'll talk you through the projects, probably not in a huge amount of detail, but I'll let you know how I've been using them and wearing them, and what works and what doesn't work. And yeah, I'm feeling very out of practice. I just got a text, but that's okay. I don't think that you mind, most of you. Yeah, this is a bit of a weird backdrop, but it's really the best option. So, let's get started. I thought we would start with socks, move on to like accessories and gifts. I will say, yeah, there's gonna be some things in this video that you will not have seen before, so that's kind of fun. It's not just a parade of things you've already seen me talk about. So yes, let's start with the socks, which I feel like we can kind of speed through. I only made 4 pairs of socks this year. A weird palette. But first pair was these. They're looking a little worse for wear, but that's because I've been wearing them. These are just a pair of vanilla socks. I tend to follow Emily Foden's Emily's Favorite Socks recipe, and it's about winter just when I don't want to use my brain, so I probably use that. And these are knit in Biscuit self-striping. They're meant to look like apple cores. And honestly, I don't know if I ever showed these on the podcast last year, so here they are. I had gone to Biscuit in December I wanted like a Christmas yarn, and I didn't like their Christmas yarns, but I liked this apple core situation. So you can see they have a lot of fuzzies, but that's a good sign. And then for the toe, and by toe I mean heel, I used a mini from Mackenzie M to the Third that she gave me when I ordered some sock yarn last year, year before, can't remember. So yeah, first pair of socks, and I really like stripy toes. So I tend to not do a contrast heel or toe. A contrast toe, because I like when the toe is stripy. And yeah, I'm a fan. It's really fun to knit some self-striping socks every now and then. So that's the first thing. Second pair of socks I knit were the donkey cardigan socks. Did I write down? I wrote down the yarn, but not the designer. I think it was Yucca. I'll put the name here of the designer if I was wrong. These are really lovely. They're knit in Urso yarn, the Petite Face Bleue base, which is BFL and nylon, non-superwash. My favorite sock base I've ever used, I think. And the colorway is Eau de Rose. And I bought this, I think, at Twist, I'm pretty sure. Not this past year, but the year before. And they're very pretty, and I've never worn them. And it's mostly because they're so pretty. So I got afraid. And I kind of made them a little too short for like wearing with boots. So they're like a shoe sock, and then it's hard because they're so woolly. Yeah. But I will try my best to wear them this like spring. The third pair of socks that I made were by the same designer. I believe it was Yucca. And these are the Four Forest socks. And I knit these in an Emily C. Gillies superwash sock base that I'd had forever. Yeah, they're cool too. Fun texture. These are like really big. I don't know why. They're like super loose. They're toe up, I believe. Yeah. And I don't know. I guess I should have gone down a needle size. I don't really understand. I always use the same needle size for socks, and then sometimes they're super loose. I think it has to do with the yarn. Not my favorite base to knit with. But I've been wearing them even though they're loose. It's fine. I just feel pretty not precious about these ones, so that's good. They've been very wearable, but I don't like when they get all loose and floppy on my feet, but that's fine. And my last pair of socks, which are also a bit worn, are these Christmas socks that I made. So you haven't seen these. I went to La Maison Tricotée yarn store here in Montreal, and I was looking for something else for a gift I was working on, and then I saw this fun self-striping and the dyers Entre Sœurs et Laine. I forget the name of the colorway, but it's Christmas colorway. And it was a set with this coordinating mini. And I really liked it. I liked that the this like gray, or not gray, I don't know. I like that it wasn't a white, it was like an oatmeal-y color. So I picked that up, and I also bought two to give as gifts to my friends Rudy and Kay. So we all will have matching socks eventually. Yeah, and I really tried hard to finish these for Christmas Day, and I finished them on Boxing Day, so that's fine. So yeah, that was my last pair of socks from 2024. What's next? Accessories. So I honestly didn't make that many accessories last year. I don't know. I thought there'd be more. I guess this is like accessories and gifts section. So the first thing I finished was my Handspun Harlow hat. And I've been wearing this a lot, and I love it. My winter coat is like dark green, and I just feel like it's a fun pop of color. And I like the amount of like height I got on it. I literally just, now I've wrecked it. I just knit forever when I knit this, and so the length, and then the length changed when I blocked it. So that's what I'm planning to do for my next Harlow hat, because we are currently doing the Harlow Spin to Knit make along. Myself, Madison, Montees of the Soulcraft podcast, and Mackenzie to the third, and I've been posting about that on Instagram if you're interested, just in my stories. So yeah, I'm excited to have a second one because I don't know, it's just been fun to have a colorful hat. So this has gotten a lot of wear. And the yarn is Handspun. It was from a braid from a Cara, and I think it was British, it's like British wool or something, or white-faced woodland. I should have made better notes, but I can put it down here if I'll look it up later. But yeah, I'm hoping my next one turns out similarly well. So that was a very good thing from this year. And I mostly knit this during the summer. I spun the yarn when I had COVID in May, end of May. And then I remember knitting it while I was camping in August with my mom. So that was fun. My next finished accessory was this scarf, which I don't think I showed to you finished, honestly. And the pattern is called Butterflies Flying Out of Your Stash Box, and it's by Eri Shimizu. And I knit this in some wool that I got at, I'm blanking, Gasbro Valley Fibers when I was in Nova Scotia in 2023, I think. And the yarn is from Hawthorne Hill Farm. And I think I started this probably in 2023, and it just sort of lay by the wayside. And I decided to finish it in October. Jessica Faith Cooper was having a finish along, so this was my finish along project, and I love it. I wore this more in the fall. I don't really know why I haven't reached for it since it got even colder. I have a lot of scarves, but yeah, I wore this a ton in the fall, and I would definitely make another one. I kind of wish I made it longer. That might be why I don't wear it. I haven't been wearing it, or maybe it just, I don't know. I tend to do this with it. Yeah, I did have more yarn. I should have gone longer, but I kind of just wanted to finish it. It's a good, I don't know, good length. But yeah, I would do it again. I might even, I think this is about a fingering weight. I think it would be fun in like a DK for a really nice cozy scarf. But I do like the width in fingering. So maybe I would stick to a fingering or a sport. I'm not like a huge scarf person. But by which I mean I don't like huge scarves. I wear scarves every day. Can't not wear a scarf here. Okay, I hope this isn't too chaotic of a video. I feel like I have weird energy. But I hope you're enjoying it. So another thing you would not have seen finished is these mittens. I think I showed them when I started them, which was in the spring. These are the Timmer mittens. It's, I believe, a free pattern on Ravelry. It's not in English, but I just Google translated it and then figured it out. It was like a little bit annoying, but it was fine. It was mostly annoying because I did one of them in the spring and then I needed mittens because I lost my mittens that I usually wear, or that I've worn for like almost probably like 10 years. So that was really sad. And they had some hand knit mitten liners in them, which I've shown on the podcast before. But yeah, so I had one mitten and I knew I needed another mitten. So this fall I cast on the second one. And these are knit using one of my first spins. It's some Icelandic fiber that I got from Long Way Homestead when I briefly did their breed study. And yeah, my hands are getting so hot in here. So I will say they've been good mittens. I do find that they fall down a lot, which is annoying. And the wind also cuts right through them, unfortunately. But they're great on wet days. I wore these like in that like kind of slushy, wet snow. And the fiber, as it should, just catches all the moisture. And your hands remain completely dry. So that's a nice thing. But I do feel like I wish they didn't do this. Like, I feel like I'm always walking and my hand is like down here, you know? So I don't know. I guess that's about getting a tighter cuff, partly. They could have been smaller, perhaps. Like, they feel like they fit fine now and they look like they fit fine, but then when I'm walking around, it feels like there's so much space in there. I thought about felting them or fulling them. So I might do that. I'm also knitting some more mitten liners right now. So maybe that would help too, to add another layer. Because yeah, on a really cold, windy day, the wind will go right through them. I'm sure they're not doing nothing, but they're not doing enough. But I still really like them. Yeah, very, very scratchy outerwear type of yarn. It wasn't the most fun yarn to knit with because it was one of the first things that I spun, but so it wasn't expertly done or anything, but they were quick, so I got them done. What? So I also wanted to show you 2 gifts that I knit for Christmas this year, for my mom and my aunt, and I took a little video before wrapping them up, so I will insert that here. So for my mom, I knit this entrelac shawl in Noro Silk Garden Sock Solo. It's the colorway 436, and she'd seen an entrelac Noro shawl in the summer and sent me a picture and said she thought it was really pretty, so I thought I'd make her one. For the pattern, I used a free pattern from Knitty from many years ago called the Motley Buttonhole Shawl, and it's an entrelac shawl, but it has these like buttonholes in the middle of each of the squares, so I omitted those, and I also made the squares 10 stitches and 10 rows large wide instead of the 12 called for in the pattern because they looked a bit proportionally large to me, and I just striped the same colorway with itself. I also changed the size a bit. I was worried about my yarn, how much yarn I had, but in the end I had way too much, so I made mine 18 triangles wide to start, and that was my first time doing entrelac. So that was cool. And then for my aunt, I knit the tiny frog from Claire Garland with his little sweater. My aunt is always sending me reels of the frog on Instagram, so I thought I would surprise her and knit him for her for Christmas. What did I use? The body was some Art Fill, their DK weight in a green color with some scraps of green mohair that Rudy gave me. Thank you, Rudy. And the sweater is leftover from my Harlow hat, which you would have just seen. So it was nice to be able to use up some of those little scraps. And yeah, I put some wire in his arms so he could bend. His little belly was some leftover from my Great Gingham raglan. So it has like a little bit of variegation, which I thought was cute. And I bought these little eyes at a bead store near me, and they're just glued onto the side of his head. He was really fun to knit. I feel like I saw lots of criticisms that it was like too fiddly or whatever, but you just have to go into it knowing it's a different kind of knitting experience than a sweater or whatever, and I think it can be really fun to knit something so tiny and silly. What else can I say? This is a really long clip. I also, saw a lot of criticism about the sweater being knit flat, but I didn't have a problem with that. I don't know, people just hate knitting flat, and I thought that the sweater was really well written. I mean, it's not easy to get him in and out of it. It was just like not that annoying to knit, in my opinion. And I knit it on the train on the way home. And so my aunt was really taken with him, and she's been sending me pictures of him in different situations, and it's really cute. So that was very fun and nice to do something a little bit different, and I hope you like him. Okay, so now moving on to sweaters or garments. I think this was the first garment I finished last year, because I had started it, I think, the year before. It's a rib lace raglan by James N. Watts, knit in Pearl Soho Santolina. I think it was the second one I made. The color is pewter blue. I like it. I didn't wear it a ton, which you'll see. I like knitting these tees, but I don't wear them very much in the summer. They just don't, like, I don't know, something about what I feel comfortable in the summer. It's not knitted tees, unfortunately. So going into this year, I think that's something I will probably not knit this year, but I do think it's cute. I ended up having to buy an extra ball of yarn to extend it, because the length written in the pattern was not enough for me. It showed too much skin. It was like, so that's the rib lace. First tee. I think the second garment that I finished in 2024 was this Hanko by Sari Nordland, which I also had started in 2023, and also had yardage issues with, and also don't wear very much or at all. I think I've worn it a few times. I don't like the fit, and I'm trying to decide what to do with it. It looks nice like this when I go like this, but I don't like, I don't like it. I tried to wear it the other day because I was like, oh, what if we just force ourselves to wear this? I don't like how this sits. Yeah, I just don't like it. I'm sorry. I remember this being a frog it or finish it question, and everyone told me to finish it, and I should have just listened to my heart and frogged it, because now it has all these sewn bind offs. Yeah, it's pretty. I do think it's pretty, but I don't like I don't think it looks good when I'm standing with my arms down. But the yarn is beautiful. It's Noro Silk Garden Sock Solo in the colorway S1 Omitama. I also think, I mean, part of it is the tee underneath, but I don't know that I love the folded. Maybe it'd be fine without that tee. No, I don't like it. Oh, it's sad. Yeah, Noro S1 Omitama, and Knitting for Olive, mohair in oat, and it's very, very pretty. But yeah, and it's really soft, although I'm really hot right now. But you can see what I mean. I think it just looks, I don't know, it doesn't look good, unfortunately. If I was always standing like this, I think it would be fine, but yeah, it just didn't work. So yeah, I don't know when I'll get around to. I do think this is something I would frog and rework into something else, because the yarn was so expensive. And also I think I would frog the yarn and the mohair together. I just think maybe like a simple raglan would be nice. And I think the yardage would go further if like we didn't have all this extra fabric here. Yeah, this one's a bit sad. But you know, it was fun to knit. Other than the fact that I don't like this shoulder construction. Whatever. It happens. I feel like I don't have a ton of like misses in my knitting wardrobe, so it's okay. And I will repurpose the yarn someday. There's no rush. There's no rush. So yeah, kind of a sad one, but whatever. Learning, we learned. What did we learn? I don't like the shape of sweater. That's what we learned. Okay. The next thing I finished was this Dappled lace raglan, also by James N. Watts. And having this one, comparing the two t-shirts, this one I like the fit of, I think, a lot better. It has more ease. And I don't know if I chose a different size or so, I don't know. Difference in the pattern. I made these sleeves a bit longer. Yeah, this one I think I wore a bit more than the other one. Probably I don't wear the rib lace because it's too fitted. This has like a nicer drape. Although I feel like I like the color. It's Santolina. It's purple. I can't remember what it's called. Purple one. The color, like, I just don't have a lot of things that go with it, which is too bad. But yeah, I think I wore this more, and honestly, it feels good. Yeah, I guess that's the thing. Yeah, it's pretty, and it was really fun to knit. I love knitting lace. That was partly, I just like wanted to knit lace, so I made this, and I'd do it again probably. This one has neck shaping too. That could be part of what makes it fit a little nicer. And I don't know that there's much more to say about it. I'm changing my mind about knitted tees now that I'm wearing this one. Okay, next thing. Okay, the next thing I finished was this cutting edge vest by Albina McLaughlin, which I knit out of Handspun. And the fiber was from Myrtle Yarn, and it is Corriedale? I think so. The colorway I remember was called Space Angel. And this is technically not finished. I never finished, like there's supposed to be an I-cord here at the back of the neck, and I never finished that. But I have a little bit of yarn like sitting by all my knitting stuff, waiting for me to do that. And as a result, I've never worn it because it's been like sitting in the pile waiting for me to finish it. And also it's definitely too short. So I think I don't reach for it for that reason too. I think it's really pretty though. This was a steeked vest. And I think I'm not like totally happy with how I finished the edges, just because you can kind of see that bump, but maybe that's unavoidable. I'm pretty sure I finished this when I had COVID. So maybe not my like best work ever. But yeah, you can kind of see here, like where this cropped shirt hits me is like where I like cropped things to be. I also think maybe I wish I'd gone down a size so that there'd be less width and I would have had more yarn to extend it further. So yeah, I do think it's really pretty though, and maybe I should keep it out and try and wear it. I just feel like it's not like it's just not looking nice on me, but that's okay. It was fun. It was my first handspun garment. I feel like I learned a lot. I do think the yarn is very beautiful, although it was not like very well spun, I will say. I remember this being like kind of hard to knit with. I think it's like a very dense yarn with like not really enough elasticity. So that's too bad, but that's how you learn. Try to show you back. So yeah, that's the cutting edge vest. Maybe I need to try like styling it more. I just don't know what I would wear under it. Going out for lunch today, maybe I should try and wear it. But I just feel like it's too short. You can't really get a good idea of it in the whole, in the grand scheme of things. Wait, I'm gonna look in the mirror. It's not that bad. I don't know, maybe I'll try and wear it this week and see how I feel about it. Yeah, I do want to finish up the back neckline, and there's like, I would just like to sort of sew this up tighter because it's not the prettiest join right there. But yeah, that's the cutting edge vest. I will say I have, I think, this is my third like vest / slipover, and I don't tend to wear them, which is too bad. But yeah, that's something to consider going forward, is that I don't really wear vests. I feel like they're a fun thing to knit because if you have like a medium amount of yarn and not enough for a sweater, but it feels like you've done something more notable than like a scarf or something. Sorry, I'm having hair. It's not that I don't like my haircut, I'm just like not used to where it's falling. Yeah. So I think going forward, I'll try to avoid knitting vests because I don't wear them. Yeah. Oh well. It was really fun to do though. I love steeking. I think that's something I'd like to do more this year. More steeking. I mean, I just did some. And you'll see it in a future episode. But yeah. The next thing that I finished last year was my port sweater. Knit in Newtoden. This is the front. Just put it on. I definitely I knit this one off gauge, and it caused me a little bit of trouble. I mean, the yarn was really just kind of hard to, what am I trying to say? I knit it off gauge because the yarn was thicker and I liked the fabric that it made at this gauge. So if you want to hear more about that, it's in a video from the spring, I imagine. I really like this sweater. It is so big. You can see where I switched plates. It's, I would say, more obvious on camera. And I tried to blend it a little bit. Oh, it does seem I am always standing like this. But I also don't care because that's just the yarn. The colorway of Newtoden was called Onska. I'm definitely saying that wrong. Alex can let me know. And it was a birthday colorway from, it's probably from 2023. And yeah, I've worn this a lot. Not yet a ton this year. I should have it out. I wore it last year. I went to a cabin with my friends and I wore this. Yeah, I must have finished it in March and we went to the cabin in March. And this was like a good indoor-outdoor layer. And I also went camping with some friends in October, which was quite cold, and I wore this and it was great. Yeah, very cozy. I love the big collar. I love to tuck my hair into the collar. Just feels good. Yeah, it's nice. I don't know, it's nice seeing the contrast between the things I don't like so much and the things I do really like. I think I mentioned this when I first finished it, but like the day after I finished it, I was making tea and I burned the hem. I think it was on this, I can't remember. I think maybe it was here. I burned the hem, like it brushed across the element on the stove. And I just dusted it off and it's fine. So wool is awesome. Yeah. I wish that I could show you more. Can we tilt down? Oh, is this gonna wreck all of my everything? Ooh, that's my computer. Yeah, that gives you a better idea of the length. Am I gonna regret this? Let's find out. I think we're back where we were. It's just like a whole, it's precarious. You're on an ironing board. But I don't know. The backdrop isn't like beautiful or anything, but I feel like it's good for the light. I hope that you like it. Maybe I'll try and film some more here. Especially, well, I think that construction is going to go on for a while. I think they're building condos, which is like my nightmare. But it's okay. It's okay. So yeah, maybe we'll be filming in this corner, standing up for the foreseeable future. All right. So the next garment I finished, maybe some of these were in the wrong order, but yeah, if this was March, I don't know why I put them in this order. Oh, I'm just not following my list. So yeah, this was before the cutting edge vest. It went rib lace, Hanko, this, cutting edge vest in May when I had COVID. This in March, cutting edge. Okay, sorry. My phone died. And then I went and ate soup. And now I'm back. I don't remember what I was talking about, so we're just gonna move on. I think I was saying I showed you things in the wrong order, but it doesn't matter. I have 2 sweaters left. So the second last sweater I finished in 2024 was my sheep kit. And I knit this as part of the Sibling Energy Sheep Camp knit along. And it was also a knit along with my friends Kay and Rudy, because we made this our Rhinebeck sweater. And yeah, it's knit using Durare Natura Gilead, yes, for the body, and then some hand spun. One of my first spins, which was fiber from Crux Fiber. Gives you an idea of the color. Most of it was from Crux Fiber, and then some of it was Northern Lights, I think the fiber is called, from Louette. Just this very bottom part because I was running low. And if you want to hear more about that, past videos, I go in depth on how I knit this, how I had to restart twice. I don't remember. Partly just because I did it off gauge. Classic. I seem to always be doing that, but I think it's lovely. And I have worn it quite a bit. I thought maybe some of the fit issues would keep me from wearing it, but I really like it and I have worn it. And maybe I will wear this today. Potentially. I gotta stop rising up on my toes. I have started taking a ballet class and I think I have injured my feet, so I keep rising up on my toes to show you things, and I gotta rein it in. I was just gonna try and show you the shaping, but so I tapered it in a bit at the waist. I will say the Gilead at this gauge, which I believe was 16 stitch gauge, I don't think it's ideal. It's just a bit fuzzy. And I think it would have benefited from being knit a bit further down. I mean, it looks nice. You can see my elbow through, but I do think it might wear here. But it's okay. Yeah. Second handspun garment. Yeah, I guess I knit 4 things out of handspun this year, and I think that's pretty good. In terms of actually using what I'm spinning. I seem to be mostly spinning with a plan, so that's nice. Yeah. Good sweater. And it is the Sheep Camp by Jennifer Berg. I don't think I said. And okay, my last sweater, which you have not seen before, I will change it to now. All right, and this is my last finished garment of last year. And I've been really nervous to show this. This is partly why it's taken me so long to record, because I knew I wanted to show this, and I was feeling really nervous about it, because this is a sweater that I designed, and it doesn't have a name yet. But I think it looks really nice on camera. I've really been plagued by doubts about it. I've been working on this for, almost 2 years, I feel like. The ideas have been like percolating, and I can't remember when I cast it on. It took me most of last year to finish it, partly because it was a not insignificant amount of knitting, and partly because I was designing it, so I was making mistakes and ripping back and learning a lot of things. It looks nice on camera. I'm really happy. I kind of knew that seeing it on camera would be, would kind of make or break it for me, and I think that I'm quite happy with it. So what can I tell you about this? It is a drop shoulder cardigan with a lace and cable pattern through the body. I just really love this like daisy lace, and I wanted to pair it with this nice cable that has like a slip stitch column up the middle. It kind of looks like a stem and leaves. And what else? The sleeves are stockinette. I feel like I've talked a lot about drop shoulders on my channel and trying to get them to work for me, and one thing that I've discovered or decided about drop shoulders is that I really need them to have like a deep sleeve, like a pretty wide sleeve. Even if the sleeve is starting like this far down my arm, it still needs to be deep to feel comfortable for me. So I did these stockinette sleeves, and this is maybe my favorite detail. It's hard to show, but the sleeves have this cute little like callback to the body on them. This garter lace flower. I don't know, they kind of look like little windows or something. And that was a detail I was really happy with. Yeah, I've got all pink because I'm nervous to show you, which is so funny because you're not even here right now. But yeah, so I've really been putting this off because I don't know, it's just nerve-wracking. I have a lot of doubts. It's been challenging, but it's also something that I've always really wanted to do. Like when I was a teenager, I wanted to be a knitwear designer. And so it feels good to have finally, like I definitely designed things when I was younger, but never saw them all the way through for sure. I definitely it took a long time before I was like finishing sweaters. And yeah, so it feels good to have seen it through, to have finished it. And I am currently writing up the pattern. Well, currently, I haven't worked on it in a while because I got pretty bogged down in thinking it was a bad idea or that nobody would like it. So whatever, I'm not putting any huge expectations on this. But it's something that I want to do for me at least. And if like 10 people buy it, I'll be happy. And I already have some friends interested in testing it, and they want to make their own, so that's a really nice feeling too. Yeah, it has this stockinette collar. I'm pretty happy with like a lot of the details, and yeah, it was a lot of hard work, and if nothing else, I'm glad to have done it. I just really wanted like a nice cardigan with a collar, and so I designed it. Here, I'll give you a 360. So yeah, let me know what you think if you like it. No obligation to like it or to say anything. I just sort of kind of wanted to introduce it now. There's definitely like a lot of work to go before I could potentially get into testing. You know, I've never done this before. I'm working on grading it as best I can and finding like good online resources to help me with that. But if any of you are a tech editor or know a tech editor who's worked with maybe newer designers, yeah, let me know. It's just a fun thing. I'm trying not to, yeah, get too freaked out and not follow through. So part of me showing this to you is putting a bit of pressure on myself to actually start working on this seriously as a pattern, no matter what comes of it. It's just something that I want to do for me. So yeah, I'm hoping to have about 10 sizes, something like that. So yeah, if you have any contacts or you are a tech editor, please get in touch. Probably the best way to reach me is through Instagram DM. I'm at Purl_wise. And also potentially my email, purlwise.knitting@gmail.com. Yeah, so thank you. Yeah, this is also knit. I don't even know if I said what it was knit in. Also knit in Gilead, but at a slightly smaller gauge. Oops. This is a 20 stitch gauge in the stockinette. That was part of the issue, is that I didn't make this easy for myself by designing in garter. It added an element of challenge that maybe, you know, I could have avoided, but I'm not good at starting small. So I started big and here we are. Yeah, I mean, I just designed something that I personally wanted to wear. And maybe I'll wear this to lunch. I've been trying to keep it nice just because I haven't taken photos of it or anything. Yeah. So yeah, I feel shy, but I'd really like to know what you think. If this is something you could see yourself knitting. And yeah. I guess that's it for everything that I've knit in 2024. I hope this was fun and interesting. I don't know. It's nice that I got to show you some things that you haven't seen before. I think that was a nice added element, even if it's just because I didn't film for so long. Partly out of fear. And a lot of other things, but a lot of it was fear about showing you this, which is silly because I'm proud of it. And it's important to remember to be proud of our achievements. And yeah. Here, I'll give you another closer look. I got some nice shell buttons. And partly this sleeve detail was inspired by I was getting these tattoos. I knew of matching flowers on my wrists. And I think that was sort of where the idea came from, to add a little element on the sleeves. And that's one of my favorite parts. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you liked this video. Probably I'll come back and talk about this some more as I work on it. But I really appreciate you watching this. Do let me know what you think. Let me know what you're knitting. I always like to know. And I hope you're having a good start to the year. And I will talk to you very soon.